What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today we've got another fine blade from the folks at Kizer Knives. We've got the Dirk Pinkerton designed Kizer Escort, and Kizer Knives has been doing this Pinkerton design, the Escort, for years now. They've done multiple iterations. And for some reason, Baz on Blades has never picked one up, even though I've always been intrigued by the design. But one day, last week, I was over at White Mountain Knives, perusing the site, and saw that they had this iteration. Justin had it up on his stupid deal of the day. And I thought to myself, how stupid do you have to be to not take advantage of the stupid deal of the day, especially when it's a design you wanted to pick up for years? So I grabbed one. They were $55. Take another 10% off with a discount code. You're down under $50 for this knife. I think by the end of the review, you're going to see it's very much worth that price point. So let's take this knife out of here. We'll look very quickly at the packaging. At this price level of Kizer Knives, this is what you can expect. Here is what you are looking for. This is the V4481C1 in 154 cm. And Redstone Richlite. There we go. Set that aside. This is what you will find in the packaging. It's a plastic tray. You've got your Kizer information here. The knife is going to be in a plastic bag with silicate desiccant there. Additionally, you'll see here we've got a cute little Kizer sticker for the sticker guys. More importantly to Baz on Blades, we have replacement parts, Omega springs and screws for this knife. Omega springs because it uses an axis type crossbar lock, and we've got a microfiber cleaning cloth here. Let's throw all this back in here and get it out of the way, and we will bring the knife back out. I want to go over the specs of this knife very quickly, get the numbers out of the way, and then we're going to talk about a few things that I think are very interesting and maybe detrimental to this knife. We'll just have to see. So blade length, you're looking at 3 3/8 of an inch. That's about 8.5 centimeters. Your blade width is about 1 inch or 27 millimeters. Blade stock thickness, 111 thousandths of an inch or 2.84 millimeters. Behind the edge thickness on this, 111 thousandths of an inch, 2.84 millimeters, that's fairly thin blade stock. That's a fairly high flat grind. I'm not surprised that the behind the edge is 14 thousandths of an inch or 0.36 millimeters. Your handle length is 4 1/2 inches, and that's right at 11.5 centimeters. The width slightly less than an inch and a tenth or 28 millimeters, and your handle thickness 484 thousandths of an inch or 12.3 millimeters, just below that half-inch point. That all gives you an overall length of 7 7/8 inch or right at 20 centimeters. Your blade to handle ratio, excellent at 0.75, that's 75%. And your weight, very acceptable, almost getting to that 1 ounce per inch of a blade length. It's at 3.77 ounces or 107 grams. I consider this knife to be very competitive in that medium to medium large-ish EDC category that you typically you find like the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in. It's very competitive as far as that goes. Let's talk about materials. Again, 154 cm for your blade steel, 154 cm. 154 cm has been around for a long time. It is one of my absolutely favorite steels that I sort of bundle into the category of improved 440C. It's funny, but at one time, years ago, many years ago in a galaxy far, far away, 154 cm was absolutely the best stainless steel on the market. And all it is an improved version of 440C, which not too many years before that was the best stainless steel on the market. Back in the day, 440C was the best stainless steel on the market in the knife market. That is crazy. That is crazy, but it's true. Those of us that are old enough to remember it. 154 cm has got good edge retention. It's got good impact resistance, and it's got good corrosion resistance. You'll typically see it in the modern market. It's going to be Rockwell around that 59-ish, give or take range. And I think it performs very well. 154 cm. It has a fairly fine grain structure. Yet it seems to me that it has this sort of fine aggression to the edge. It will take a mirror edge very well. It seems to... 154 cm has always been really nice to use for me. It seems to cut through very well. I don't know how to describe it. It's got sort of a personality that I've always liked. And because it has good impact resistance and good corrosion resistance on top of that, it was an extremely popular stainless steel to use. I'm very accepting of this steel at the $50 price point. Into our handle here, we're in Richlite. This is the redstone finish from Richlite products. Richlite is an epoxy. It's a resin-based product, but unlike G10, where you use matting or sheets of woven fiberglass, you use layers of paper for this material. And I think right now is when we're going to talk about the one negative thing I have to say about this knife in the materials is Richlite does not really have any surface texture. It is, you know what? I don't want to call it slick, but it's slick. So I'm going to bring out a prop, and I'm going to show you exactly how this handle material feels, the surface texture of it, the way it's going to feel in your hand, and feel free to join in. In fact, this is all you need right here to know exactly what this feels like. Go right now, pause this video right now, and go and get a plain piece of paper. See, there's nothing special about this paper. It's not trick paper. This is not magic paper. This is not even government paper, so it's not really that expensive. Just get you a plain piece of paper and come on back. We'll wait on you. Yeah, we're waiting on the paper. Okay, now that you've got your piece of paper, take your fingers. It could be these fingers or those fingers or that finger, any finger you want. Rub that piece of paper like this. Rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. And that's what this handle feels like. It feels like paper. That's the surface texture of this material. That is the traction you are going to have with this material. Now, Richlite is very tough, okay? Just like all the resin-based stuff, is resistant to, you know, chemicals and solvents and heat and cold and, you know, demons and aliens and all of that. It's resistant to all of that stuff. So I don't have any issue in the quality of this material. I just have sort of an issue in the character of the material. So I'm going to say this. If you are sensitive to how much surface traction you want on a handle material, you may not like Richlite. Okay? You may not. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just what it is, and that's what it is. So, Richlite explained. It's not a bad looking material. So to continue on, we've got stainless for our small parts. Your screw sizes are T8, except for the pocket clip screws, which are T6. And you can see here, they are flush mount screws for that stamped steel deep carry pocket clip, but the pocket clip is not recessed, but is reversible for all the genetically deficient people that we call left-handed. It does feature barreled standoffs that are stainless. You've got stainless liners. These liners, I don't know if you can see that, they are weight relieved. That's why you can get that weight. This, what do we say, is 3 3/8 of an inch or 8.5 centimeter blade length, but we're down at 3.77 ounces or 107 grams. That's really close to the 1 inch per ounce blade length that the ultralight guys want. The guys with weak, girly hands, and the guys that were raised by two mothers. So it's going to be easy to carry as far as the weight goes. I think material-wise, at this price point, I'm pretty okay with the caveat of the surface texture of Richlite thrown in there. So let's talk about fit and finish on this. We're going to go back up here to the blade. I love this drop point profile. I love this grind on this. I love this ball milled groove here that does absolutely nothing but look good. I like the thumb studs. I like everything about this blade, and I like that all of it is even. All of it is well done. The edge grind it's even side to side. The primary grinds are. The tip is very well done, so it is not rolled over from the secondary bevel from sharpening. There's really no swedge to speak of on this. You do have a short flat section here at the top of the spine side of the blade. You do have some jimping on the back of the blade. It is functional. Let's get some flesh down in that jimping. We're going to get one with that jimping right meow. And you guys can see right here, there is plenty of grip on that jimping. And that jimping is repeated on the liner here, and then we're going to go to the inside at the butt end as well. So, the fit of the scales to the liners, you can see here as the light reflects across, you can tell there's not really even a nail catch here. They're very flushly fit. The edges are finished square. Everything comes together very cleanly. I'm very happy with the fit and finish on this knife. And you know what? Kizer has a reputation for having very good fit and finish. No issues there. No issues there. And I haven't really done anything to this knife. I put a couple of drops of oil on the pivot. Other than that, I haven't done anything. Well, I went over all the hardware on it just to make sure it was snug down and to check the size of everything. But other than that, I didn't do crap. Please excuse the coughing, guys. I can't work around this. It's allergy season, and my head is foobarred right now. Let me take me a drinky poo. All right. So fit and finish is about perfect. The action on this thing is bearing pivot, axis lock, perfectly centered. The lockup itself is absolutely solid. This is a very good example of a crossbar or axis type of lock. There's plenty of spring pressure there to provide strength on that lock. And this lock, when it's used by Kizer, if I took the scale off of it, and you could see the liners here, there are multiple different holes where the Omega spring mounts on this end. Okay, so one end is mounted to the bolt and the other end is mounted to the frame, and that round Omega spring wanting to open, that's its action right there. It wants to open. As you move this end across these holes, you're setting up pre-tension on that spring. You can adjust the tension on that spring. So as the time goes by and the spring naturally loses tension, you can adjust to that. If you get one and you want the tension to be a little bit higher, to force that bar up into the locking position a little harder, then you can do that in the adjustment. If you want to take a little bit of that away, maybe you have problems with your hands and some weakness in your hands, you can take away a little bit of that spring tension. That's a very good design aspect, and really all it requires in the manufacturing of this is during the machining process of the liners to drill those 3 little holes instead of 1 hole. That's all it takes. Such a simple thing absolutely makes a difference in the design. The action is, it's like I say, ball bearing on axis lock, it's it's loosey goosey. Yeah, no problems there. It's a Kizer. It's a Kizer, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I've owned and reviewed many Kizers, folders, and fixed blades. They've all been extremely solid. I don't know. They've all been extremely solid. I don't know if I've ever had a Kizer that had a quality issue. I don't know. I do not recall ever having a Kizer that had a quality issue. That's fantastic. When you think of a manufacturer and you're struggling to find any type of negative memory of that manufacturer, that's super duper nice. So the fit and finish is perfect on this. The action is fantastic on this. I mean, opening it with those thumb studs, flicking those out. Let's see if I can get the, even Baz on blades, who is reverse flick retarded. I spoke too soon. Can open this thing. And granted, guys, if I turn this knife end to end, I could touch the table and the camera. So I'm in a very confined space and I'm at an awkward angle and all that. So it does confine me, and it makes me look worse at doing it than I really am. It's easy to do on this knife for those of you that like it. The thumb studs are well placed for that. You can see you got plenty of room to get up under there. There's zero issues there. And of course, rolling it out with an axis lock, that's incredibly smooth. Yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Let's take a look here. We're going to get up here, take a look at that stop bar. I didn't measure that, and I don't have my calipers out here, but that stop bar is it's thicker than the blade stock. Maybe 120 thousandths, something like that, which is plenty thick enough for that blade stock. Pocket clip, like I say, deep carry, stamped steel pocket clip. Flush mount. I didn't mean to say recess, but flush mount screws. Again, reversible. Then you get all the replacement screws in the bag. It's a good pocket clip design. You can see that the tip is flat. So as you grip this knife, you can feel there's a pocket clip there. You can feel it there, but everything is flat against my hand, and it's not obtrusive or intrusive at all. So good to go with that pocket clip design. I could see that being used on multiple different models. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. In and out of the pocket is good. Retention in the pocket is good. The knife in closed position is pretty compact. Let's take a chance right now. Let's bring out some other knives, and we'll see how it compares size-wise. So we've got, let's see here. We've got the classic, the Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco. You can see they are of a like there. I've got these lined up with the front of the handle scale to the front of the handle scale. I'm going to move the Escort forward here and line up the cutting edge. So termination of cutting edge to tip wise, you can see the difference here. They're very much the same. If there's a millimeter difference, that's about it. We're going to move this back again, and you can see that the Escort has a much more compact handle. It is a little more compact in the width and is quite a bit shorter. That's where we get our 75 percentile blade to handle ratio on the Escort. It's a very good design. We're going to bring out another one here that I really like, and that is the Concept Knives Pre-Tattoo folder. And I've got my Batman out here in celebration. Jeffrey Orthopedic sent me an email just the other day, and he is finally adding a pre-tattoo to his collection, and he got the Batman micarta in 154 cm like this. So I thought, I'm gonna pull that thing out and use it as a size example comparison for this knife. So congratulations to Jeffrey Orthopedic for finally doing something already that all of us have already done. If you don't own a Concept Pre-Tattoo, you owe it to yourself to get one of those knives. That is a absolutely fantastic EDC knife. And then last, we've got the Richlite knives, the PLXF. That is the flipper version, the first gen of their plunge lock budget knives at the $100 to $130 price point. And you can see again, very much of a size there for those of you that own the PLXF. That'll give you a good idea of what this Escort looks like. Jesus Christ, guys, I'm sorry this review sucks so bad. My throat is so itchy. I am trying to not cough. I am tripping over my words, and I feel miserable. Miserable that the quality is so low. So please feel free to make fun of me and my channel and my life down in the comment section. I would appreciate that. Ergos and utilitarian usage of the Kizer Dirk Pinkerton Escort is all good. It's all good. Tell your mom it's all good, okay? I'll call her later. Drop point, high tip, classic grind, slicey behind the edge thickness. This knife is a cutter. It is a cutter. 111 thousandths, 14 thousandths behind the edge. Shit, this thing slices. It slices crazy. You can see this, whatever this coating is, I looked it up and couldn't find it. It feels like a surface applied coating. It does not feel like a micro coating like a DLC or a PVD, but it's not performing like a Teflon either. I've done quite a bit of cutting with it, and you can see some light scuffing along the cutting edge and maybe some scuffing up here along the tip where I've cut open some packaging and whatnot. What the hell, you greasy bastard, you. Baz on blades. Be pimping with that much grease. This is such a sort of classic, I don't want to say plain Jane, but it's just, it's not a blade profile that you're going to comment on too much. You're just going to use it. It's got a good amount of flat edge here for up close detail cutting. Nice amount of belly. Like I say, it's got a high, very pokey tip. It catches instantly. Very well done there. Well placed jimping here. It is well placed. You see how I can get forward of this finger. I've got a choil here, but I can get, I'm not back here where I have to open my grip. Look at all of this. Look at all of this. Oh my God, my finger fell in there. You don't want that. Get your thumb forward, get this grip closed up and strong. That's where you want your jimping, okay? Also, getting your thumb forward of that pivot point, it allows you to more accurately control the tip of the knife. The handle is pretty wide open. You do have a decent finger choil here. It is not oversized or exaggerated, so you don't get lost in it. It's not undersized where it's, you're like, why did you even put that there? It's not enough. It's really perfectly sized, wide open midsection here. You've got the slightest bit of drop towards the butt end. Nice, comfortable radius here. The slightest drop here. It's not a bird's beak, of course, but there is the slightest drop with these lines. It does make it feel more organic in your hand because your hand is not flat and straight. It's curves and angles and folds and all of that. You want that knife to feel fairly ergonomic, but you don't want it to be so crazy that it turns some people off. This is going to fit a wide variety of hands. This is in my large hand volume, medium length, chunky fingers. So that gives you an idea there how it fits. Very usable handle in that forward grip. Let's reverse it here. Again, nice comfortable radius on the back to butt cap with your thumb. Yeah, I just think that Dirk Pinkerton, I've always liked his design language. When he sets his mind on sort of a design concept, he never loses sight on the fact that it is a cutting tool. It's a tool. I know it's pocket jewelry, it's a fidget toy, it's all of that to us, the knife enthusiast community, but to the world at large, it's just a knife. It's a tool in the average hand. They're going to pick it up and they're going to be like, it's got to be comfortable. I need to be able to cut with it and not hurt myself or anything like that. I don't want any blisters. Everything about this is utilitarian. It's got a classic sort of design language to it. And to me, it's very attractive because of that. Nothing really jumps out to you and says, oh my God, look at that. It's just, you look at it and you go, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. Oh yeah, I can use that. Shit, yeah, let me cut something with this right here. It's real usable. So the utilitarian use, the ergos are all, I'm not going to say perfect because there is no perfect as far as that goes. A lot of that is very subjected to you, your hands, whatever, your usage. But I'm going to say it's going to be very usable for a wide array of people and end use parameters or something. So, yeah, other than the surface texture, again, that's the surface texture, okay? That's the surface texture. Paper. If you can rub some paper, you'll know exactly what this feels like. But other than that, this is a badass knife. Dirk Pinkerton, I love his damn designs. I know I already said that, but I love his designs. I love this design. Material-wise, 154 cm, Richlite, stainless small parts, stamped steel, but deep carry pocket clip, well mounted, not recessed, but the screws are flush. So there you go. We're halfway on that. And reversible. That's what those holes are for everybody that's going to go down in the comment section and go, Amazon blades, I noticed there's 2 holes in that thing. Is that for the pocket clip? No, it's not. It's for you to look through. It's like binoculars. You look through those holes. Just go outside and hold the knife up to your face. where people can see you, and you'll realize sooner or later what those holes are for. They're for the pocket clip. Baz on Blades is going to recommend this one, and then he's going to end this video because it feels like there is an itchy bug in my throat, and I'm going to start coughing very, very soon here. And as always, I thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.